Guys, welcome back to another video. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Today's video, I'm just going to talk about 5 myths, 5 lies that are told in the reselling community that people say, that people do, that just aren't true, that they say that they do. It's just not true. Okay, here we go. I've got a list here. Biggest lie that I've heard people say, like on reselling platforms, especially like on Whatnot, they'll be like, there's no competition. We're all a community. There's no competition. What? There absolutely is competition. With every business, there's competition. Like you have other businesses, other people doing the same thing that you're doing. That's competition. You might not look at it as competition, which is foolish. If you want a successful business, you need to know that there's competition and you have to, be aware of that. It absolutely is competition. I don't know. I feel like it's the people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about that say that. Say, for instance, a supplier has only like a certain amount of items and, there's me and like 3 other resellers and I want to buy more than another reseller. Like that's competition. Like who's going to get to the supplier first? Like that's competition. Let's say that you have 2 shows going on at the same time and both people are selling the same items. That's your competition. Somebody is competing with you. It's just really funny to me that people are like, there's no competition. There's room for everyone. Okay, there might be room for everyone to sell on Whatnot. Not everyone is going to be successful. And then again, when you're dealing with, like time slots when people go live or dealing with suppliers or even going to the thrift store at the same time as, somebody else that's buying the same stuff as you. That's competition. And then people are like, the only competition is with yourself. Okay, yeah, that's great. That's deep. You should always strive to be a better person, but there's absolutely competition. Again, there's nothing wrong with having, friends in the community, having friends that do the same thing as you, but if they're doing the same thing as you and they're selling the same thing as you at the same time as you, that's competition. Like, I don't know. It's, again, the people that don't think that there's competition are the ones whose businesses won't succeed. I feel like a couple years ago, this was like more popular to do. When people hit like 6 figures, they'd be like, I'm a 6-figure reseller. Woo! It's not a lie. Well, I mean, it could be a lie. It's misleading. It's definitely misleading. So there were some resellers that, as soon as they hit the 6 figures, they're like, oh, I'm a 6-figure reseller. What they don't tell you is that, yeah, they made 6 figures, but it took them 7 years to make 6 figures. They're not making 6 figures every year. Or yeah, they've made 6 figures, but that's not profit. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing that people are, again, not necessarily lying about, but just being misleading. Like, oh yeah, I'm a 6-figure reseller, but it's like, that's not your profit. That's not your profit, but they're not going to say that. So yeah, it's a little misleading. But now people are like, I'm $1 million reseller. Yeah, you made $1 million in profit, or you've sold $1 million over friggin' 15 years that you've been reselling. Like there's more to it. Again, not really lying, but not really telling the whole truth, Okay, the next lie or the next not truthful thing are the ones that come out with a course or an ebook or something like that. And they're like, hey, buy my course, buy my ebook, and I'll tell you my reselling secrets and you'll be a 6-figure reseller. Guys, I promise you, there's nothing that these people are going to tell you that you can't Google for free. The only thing they could possibly tell you that might not be public knowledge is like their suppliers and stuff, but I highly doubt that they're going to do that. There are some people that like the convenience of buying a course or buying an ebook because it's all there, all the information's there. You don't have to go searching for it. But if you want to save money, literally you can Google all that shit for free. Like there's no reseller that has a secret that nobody knows about that's gonna make you $1 million. It's just not, no. I get it, they're trying to make money. I'm not really knocking anyone's hustle. I'm just saying, sort of along the same lines, another thing is you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Like if somebody, let's say you buy somebody's course and they're like, you need to do this, you need to do it this way. They're just telling you what works for them. That's not necessarily gonna work for you. There's been a hype lately about doing $1 starts with live shows. And yeah, a lot of people are doing it and a lot of people aren't succeeding at it. Just because it works for some people doesn't mean it's gonna work for everyone. You have to figure out what works for your business and just go from there. because you can't compare your business to somebody else's because you're two completely different people. You have different customers. There's, like a hype going around like, hey, you got to do dollar starts, or, hey, you got to do like mystery bags or something like that. Yeah, I mean, try it, but it might not work for you. Like, go into it knowing that it might not work for you. Just because it works for someone else doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And the last lie or myth is you will succeed at reselling, or specifically, you'll succeed at live selling. That's not true. That's not true. And it's okay. It's okay if you try reselling and, you're really excited about it, you try it, you give it your all, and you don't succeed. That's okay. It's definitely not for everyone, especially live selling. With live selling, you have to have the time, you have to have the personality, you have to have the energy. Like a lot goes into live selling. It's very different than going to a thrift store, buying something and sitting and listing it on Poshmark or eBay. It's very different. But also with reselling in general, you might not succeed at it. You might not. You can try all the tips and tricks in the world and you just might not be good at it. And that's okay. I really cringe when I hear people say like, oh, you're just going to be consistent and it'll happen. Consistency does work for some people, not for everyone. There are some people who are very consistent and their business hasn't really grown. It's just kind of stayed the same over, a course of a few years. And, they're okay with that. It's simply not true when people say that anyone can succeed at reselling. It isn't. It really isn't. You need the time, the energy. You need the knowledge too. You need knowledge, business knowledge. You need to know what sells. You need to keep up with trends. Like there's a lot to it, and not everyone can do it. They really can't. And if you're one of the ones that tries and you don't succeed, again, that's okay. It's okay to fail in life. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Those are just a couple of things that I thought of off the top of my head. Comment down below and let me know any reselling like lies or myths that you've heard of. I mean, there are a shit ton more. I could make this like a multiple series. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make this a series. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.